Hey guys, and welcome to my channel. This is going to be kind of like a Ask Lakia. All right, so I get asked tons of questions every day, and I do eventually get to you. All right, so if you ask a question of me, be a little patient, I will get to you. All right, so in this video, I'm going to answer, someone left me a nice lengthy question here on the support group. I'm just going to cover their name and everything. And I'm going to go ahead and read through this passage, all right? And we'll answer the questions. All right, so this is basically a support group requested video here, and I'm going to also put this under the Ask Lakia. So if you've asked me questions or if you've done so from the support group, you can check either playlist for your videos, all right? But she says, "Hi, Miss Lakia. First, I want to say thank you. I really get so much inspiration and strength from your videos. And always when I really need it, I struggle with reoccurring nibbling thoughts about the reality of the entire experience." All right. And then she says, "Number one, why am I so different from the person I was before? I aged a lot during 2.5 years. It's like I'm unable to hold on to myself for long. Number two, I'm 56 and so is he. Does age affect the process because I'm really shut down emotionally? Maybe someone younger springs back quicker." And number three, does the narcissist get sicker as he ages? All right. So let's talk about it. Basically, when someone sends me questions like this, and I feel that, a lot of other survivors probably could benefit from hearing this answer. So here we are making the video to help other people who may be wondering about these things. All right. So let's go through this. Hi, Miss Lakia. First of all, thank you. I really get so much inspiration and strength from your videos. You're welcome. And always when I really need it. Yeah. I don't really believe in coincidences. If you have crossed my channel, it has been for a reason, and there's some messages and things that you can learn from me to help you on your journey. So just take those things, right? I struggle with reoccurring nibbling thoughts about the reality of the entire experience. And a lot of survivors do have that struggle. And the struggle can be happening for a lot of reasons. A lot of times we really don't want to think that someone could be so cruel and so harsh and so disrespectful and so evil. It's really hard for a lot of survivors to wrap their mind behind that. So the struggle in those instances is still a little bit of resistance to not really wanting to believe that someone could be like that. And then on the other hand, when we're not resisting that someone could be like that, it just hurts because, it's harsh, it's not kind, and it doesn't feel good, to be treated in these ways. And, as our eyes are opening to the situation and we're going back and replaying it, and we're seeing the situation differently now when we see these, we thought they were giving us love and sentiment, and then we find out, oh, they were really just manipulating me and trying to have me emotionally wrapped around their fingers. And, it could feel like a struggle because it's hitting your emotions yet again. It's like, okay, I originally went through this, and now I'm realizing it was even more than what met the eyes. And like I said, it's not kind. It doesn't feel good to have to swallow and digest these things, because the reality is what we're in. Once we're going no contact and we're deciding to see them for what they are. But oftentimes when we were in the situation, we had on the rosy colored glasses and we were living a lie. It was their illusion, and we had bought into these lies. So we weren't in reality for quite some time. And the real reality is, it was all a sham. All right, so let's talk about this. Number one, why am I so different from the person I was before? Well, first of all, life is about change. And when we have these kinds of relationships, it's meant to change you for life. It's meant for you not to stay the same. It's meant for you to grow through this situation. You're going to go through a purge now. And it's going to feel like you had a death. You know, not only the death of that relationship, but the death of the way that you were consciously before that. Because you're being presented actually with an opportunity to uplift yourself. All right. Let me continue on. She says, I aged a lot during the 2.5 years. It's like I'm unable to hold on to myself for long. All right. So, I mean, here's another aspect. Being in that relationship is very stressful, and stress is not good for your health. So, yeah. Stress is this internal thing that we're feeling, and sometimes we could physically have stress, of course, if we're like carrying something that's too heavy. I'm talking about mental and emotional stress right now. Yeah, that's internal, but it's going to start affecting us externally, because what's going to happen? You're not having peace of mind. You may begin having sleeping problems. You could be developing depression. And, these are the dark-sided or the shadowy aspects to going through a traumatic event, when we have not found our healing yet. So you're in the midst of, on your journey towards your healing, and you're going through the motions, and it feels really raw right now because you're facing a lot of things, and you're digesting a lot of things, and you're connecting the dots on a lot of things. So when you say it's like I'm unable to hold on to myself for long, it's okay to let go, meaning go ahead and feel. I tell survivors this all the time: cry. One day you will be cried out. You will reach a point where you be cried out about a situation, but you don't want to bottle it up. Some things everything's a process, but healing from a trauma or a traumatic event, you need to go ahead and release those emotions. So you don't have to put on a strong face, sweetie. There are going to be days and times and moments where you're going to feel like an emotional wreck, or you might feel a little bit more tender or sensitive about the situation. And it's okay. Be gentle with yourself in a healing process. Be gentle with yourself in a healing process. It doesn't last forever if you are actively doing the right things to help your healing progress in a healthy manner. Okay? All right. So, you're going to have those moments. Number 2, you say, I am 56 years old, and so is he. Does age affect the process? Because I'm really shut down emotionally. Maybe someone younger springs back quicker. No, it's not an age thing. You're just human. It could be someone in their 20s feeling exactly like this. And it's not an age thing. It's an experience thing. All right. So this may not have been your first abusive relationship. Who knows? You could have had a whole lifetime of this stemming from your childhood. Or you might say, this is the first time for me. I'm not sure your specific situation, but really it boils down to experiences. The more that a person has been exposed to narcissistic abuse, the more draining it's going to become. And the more that it wears you down psychologically and emotionally, that does begin to physically, weigh you down as well. All right, because using your brain takes energy. That's a form of energy as well, and it pulls from you. So no, a younger person doesn't necessarily go through it better. If anything, maybe a younger person, and let's be clear about something real quick. You have your earthly age of 56, but what is your emotional maturity age? Because that's going to depend on how good or how quickly you're going to bounce back from these situations. So someone in their 20s could be more mature than someone in their 50s, even though typically life is supposed to be set up where someone in their 50s should have more life experience and maturity than someone in their 20s when things are going at the proper pace here. but people get halted, people get frozen in time, people get stuck in their ways, people stop progressing, they get complacent at times, and that really depends. So it's really your emotional maturity age, if you will, or how you're able to dissect the situation and manage your perception that's going to determine how quicker you spring back. All right. But typically, when it's your first time realizing it, most survivors can unify in saying that, we all kind of went through these certain stages, and everybody had to go through that purge. Everybody felt that burn, and everybody paid their dues to get the wisdom and get to the other side of the situation. All right. So it's not an age thing. All right. It's just an exposure thing, if you will, and an emotional maturity thing. So depending on those things, how long were you exposed to it and where's your emotional maturity, that's going to depend on how quickly you're going to be able to spring back. All right. But it's very devastating to initially make these realizations, and then you go back and look at the situation through your open eye now, and you're seeing everything that you didn't see before, and that can be very devastating. And like I said, using your brain and thinking, that is using energy as well, and that's why you can be physically drained after taking a test. It pulls on you physically as well. All right. So your third part says here, does the narcissist get sicker as they age? I'm going to say yes to that, because scientists have studied it, and they say, narcissists get worse with time. So, if this person is already filled with toxicity, with time, that is just increasing. And oftentimes, they end up getting a terminal illness, and I have the feeling, to me, that is because of all that darkness and toxicity that they have internally. Now they actually become physically sick themselves eventually. So yes, they do get sicker. They do get sicker, and they get worse. They get worse with the narcissism, and they might even lose their mind eventually, beyond what's already technically lost due to their ignorance and their disconnect from themselves. All right. So there you have it. The support group, and that was that young lady's question. If you are interested in joining the support group on Facebook for survivors of narcissistic abuse, that link is below my video. All right. So if this video resonates with you, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. Over 500 videos here to help you understand narcissistic abuse. To help you understand psychology and relationships, especially the ones with yourself. Because, don't worry about trying to change them. You can't. But you can change yourself and how you deal with them or not deal with them. See what I'm saying? So focus on yourself, all right? Everything in life is a process, and when you have to pay your dues, all right? But it'll be worth it, and you stick it out, and it'll be like, a butterfly now coming out of the cocoon. All right. And with that being said, guys, I do offer one-on-one coaching. Young lady, if you still feel like you are struggling with this, I do offer that one-on-one. Someone's calling me. And I do that through voice call, FaceTime, and Skype. I have email coaching, and I do even offer text messaging, all right? A limited amount of survivors can take advantage of that because I'm only one person. But, as people go out, you can come into it, so you can see that availability. Through my Patreon is a great way to get that, and also through my website. If you've experienced financial abuse or you just want to support the channel, go to my Patreon to do so. You can pledge a monthly support to help me in spreading this awareness of narcissistic abuse. And you can make up any number you want if you just want to support, just to be supporting. But there's also tiers that have minimum amounts of pledges, and they come with all types of wonderful perks and further access to me in the services that I provide, which could be very helpful to you in educating yourself and helping you in the healing process, all right? So take a look at those tiers. I always promote the $24.99. tier, for instance, for $24.99 a month minimum pledge, you can get 3 coaching sessions a year with me, along with exclusive videos and contents that will never be on YouTube. All right. So if you like these, you're definitely going to like what's on Patreon. Okay. All right. So, and all my regular YouTube videos will be on Patreon as well. So, there's a lot of great things that happen on Patreon, guaranteed weekly live chats. For those that pledge $49.99 a month, that's 4 hours a month, or 1 hour a week, where you can come on a live chat and ask me anything you want. This is very priceless in helping you in your healing process. All right. Never be afraid to, invest in yourself. Nothing should ever be too good for you. That is one of the lessons that you need to take out of narcissistic abuse. Oftentimes, the survivors are so willing to do so much for everybody else and so little to nothing for themselves. So now's the time to replenish and put into yourself, all right? Find ways to do it. I offer and meet survivors on all kind of levels to help them get the necessary coaching from me, all right? So, look at everything that I offer and find one that works for you. There's something here for everybody that can go and get extended help with me, all right? Where there's a will, there's a way, guys, all right? I've written 4 books. They're available on Amazon.com and BarnesandNobles.com. If you want signed copies, you can get those through my website, www.LakiaCrawford.com. That link is below. I always recommend reading these books in order. The X Factor Volume 1, The X Factor Volume 2, The Beauty of the Eye. And then for those of you who have experienced sexual abuse, I did write a book called Silent Tears. You can privately get that therapy, in the privacy of your home to help you, get through that healing process, all right? Because there is a lot of brochures and statistics out there, but from one survivor to another, I know the real help needs to be emotional and psychological beyond anything else, all right? And that's what that book helps to provide. All right, guys, thank you for all your support in the channel. And until next time, please take care.